And the last example on that in Gaza is a witness to that. So we remember those martyrs who have put forward and sacrificed their life for the sake of the truth to be reported to the whole world, and Al Jazeera is still going with reporting the truth to the world with its arsenal of great reporters and correspondents seeking to report the whole truth to the world. We know that the media nowadays is facing a real test because there is content and the narrative and the speed and the accuracy. That's why we believe that professionalism is not just a formality, but rather it's the source of trust and the influence and the guaranteeing of the presence that stands the test of time. In conclusion, I thank our guests once again, and I thank those panelists and all colleagues in the network for the effort that they have exerted in order to produce this forum in the way that it deserves, and I'm confident that this will be a space for the exchanging of views, and it will open new windows in order to have common understanding. Thank you. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Sheikh Hamad bin Samir Al Thani. Now, His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Somalia, Dr. Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, will be our next speaker. In the name of God, the most merciful, the most compassionate, may the blessings of Allah be upon His Messenger and upon you all, ladies and gentlemen.
Your Highnesses, Your Majesties, it's a great honor and privilege to join you all for the 17th Al Jazeera Forum in this beautiful city of Doha, the capital of the brotherly state of Qatar. Indeed, this innovative forum continues to play a major role in the global governance, peace and security and economic development by bringing the most relevant, knowledgeable stakeholders together in one place to debate the main issues in depth globally. Overall, Al Jazeera Media Network is among the most trusted, viewed media source internationally because of its true commitment to quality journalism, which educates, informs, and most importantly, challenges the dominant narrative by giving all a voice. Congratulations and long may this brave, cutting-edge, and honest journalism continue into the future. The 17th edition of this forum rightly focuses on the major questions raised by the Israel's destructive war on Gaza and the role of the Arab world and all the responsible international stakeholders to bring this horrendous suffering of the Palestinian people to the end. What we have seen in our own eyes happening in Gaza was another level of inhumane engagement in the history of the world. This must remain an international priority despite all other challenges globally. Simply because without an equitable, legal, durable solution based on the two-state solution that the world has been advocating for long, it will otherwise be a recurrent misfortune that the world will experience more. This situation will just escalate further, endangering the fragile regional stability and progress. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we are living in a truly turbulent and uncertain times where everything we know is changing rapidly. Some changes are positive, like the advancements in technology, healthcare, and science, while others are very much concerning. Key among the global concerns is the weakening of the established rules based on international order. That order is not intact anymore. That order, which while not completely perfect, guided the world in a positive way. Although it's not completely perfect, but lays out a means through which all nation states can coexist, collaborate, and cooperate amicably. The established international law and diplomatic norms on respecting national sovereignty, territorial integrity, and promoting peace among nations is under threat right now. An experience that the world has passed in a very old times is appearing again. The mighty is right. The institutions we agreed on to safeguard these sacred rules and values after the Second World War, like the United Nations, are under grave threat. Multilateralism as a whole appears to be retreating when it's needed more than ever to assert itself and respond to an existential common challenges which threaten all humanity today. This is a dangerous and not a situation that we can be in for much longer. The world has to wake up and stand against the perpetrators of the international norms. We must reflect, reevaluate, and return to the path of common purpose and agreed universal rules. This will ensure global stability, sustainable development, and purposeful multilateralism is maintained and advanced again. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in Somalia, we are proudly contributing to regional security and stability by bravely continuing the successful fight against international terrorism in our country. Through a systemic military, ideological, and financial strategy of action, we are actively defeating the twin criminals of Al-Qaeda and ISIS. Our sacrifices in this endeavor are not for Somalia alone. It is for the security and stability of all, particularly in our region and the wider world. In this regard, we remain grateful for the support of all our international partners in this objective of defeating the terror. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the Red Sea is a fundamental for global security, stability, and trade. It's a space shared by many nations, including Somalia, which can embed global stability and advance economic development through commerce. The Red Sea is an economic artery for the prosperity and opportunity when strategically and cooperatively utilized. However, the Red Sea security remains challenged by regional tensions, destabilizing geopolitical posturing, and dangerous meddling, like in the case of Israel, illegally interfering with Somalia's sovereignty and territorial integrity in December last year. This reckless and fundamentally wrong and illegal action under international law undermines stability, security, and trade in a way that affects the Horn of Africa, the Red Sea, and the wider world. It's not only violating the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Somalia. The action of Israel challenges the very fundamental existing of the African continent and what Africa has agreed, the African Union Constitutive Chart, which recognizes all the African borders and clearly rejected the secessionism and violation of established borders. Going forward, the Somali government and people are committed to continuing our successful state-building process with a renewed focus on inclusive politics, economic development, institution building, and productive international partnership. The Somali people have suffered a long time, but now the light is at hand. Our government is standing firmly by the principles of the international law, which safeguards national sovereignty, territorial integrity, and collaboration for global public goods. We strongly warn against a deterioration of the existing international rule-based order, which can easily return the whole world to the dark past wars, instability, and displacement we seek to never return to our world. We also should never return to the era where might is always right. The Palestinian people's cause is a good example for that. In conclusion, I think that when it comes to global governance, regional stability, trade, poverty reduction, it's not only the nation states that should speak. Room must be made for civil society, media, intellectuals, lawmakers, and anybody who or organization that can add value to that cause. I once again congratulate the Al Jazeera Media Network for organizing this successful forum and wish you all the successful deliberations in the coming days. I thank you all. Thank you.
شكرا لفخامة الرئيس حسن.
Thank you, Your Excellency Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, the President of Somalia. He just returned from very important talks in the context of peacemaking in this area and coming back from the Sultanate of Oman. We invite His Excellency Abbas